Soon, at some point, there will be a bot here. But our bot. We get to have our own bot now, chat. This bot is going to be designed for the new section of the site, which I finally have time to work on. Well, I don't really have time to work on it, actually. I'm actually still very behind on the work stuff. But hey, we'll figure that out later. See, the thing about work stuff, right, is it's not a problem until the deadline's there. And until the deadline shows up, nothing really matters, right? So really, the way to deal with being behind on work is ignoring it until the last second when you can no longer ignore it ever again. It's very important to do that. It's very important to not be a responsible person, right? It's actually better not to be responsible, because then nobody can blame you for when it goes wrong every single time. The thing is, you have to give people this false sense of disappointment, right? This is the key, all right? This is the key to life, chat. Make sure nobody knows how good you actually are. You have to be absolutely useless. If you're not useless, right? Like, you have to make sure that people have no clue what to expect from you. That the moment that they see you, they go, oh no, the project is gonna go horribly. And then when you turn it around, boom, you get a raise instantly. You go all the way to the very top. They make you CEO that same day because they're like, this guy has had a major turnaround. This is the kind of company values that we want to embody. We're a family. That's what I do with work. But hey, welcome to the stream. Again, sorry it's a later stream today. But we have the full time to stream. So we'll be streaming basically the entire day. But for as long as I want to. So it's nice. Obviously, as I said, I'm not really done work. Just kind of holding off on it because I'm still waiting for a couple things anyway, so I can't do anything. And the piece that I could do beforehand is like done. So it's like I'm just kind of like hanging out. So we're good to go for as long as we want. The VODs are slowly being uploaded again. Again, sorry, it's on one single person. Chat, it takes a long time to make a thumbnail. Like, I put some effort into some of these thumbnails, alright? It takes a while. I try to make them as clickbait as possible, but also as artistic as I can, right? Obviously, that will take a long time, though. As well, we'll be doing some more fun streams again. Now that I've had time to plan streams again, it won't just be like, okay, just hop on, play a game for like an hour, bounce, or just play the same game for well, we'll still play the same game for like 5 hours, right? But there's more things that we get to do now. Also, I forgot to tell you all about the story from work. So I think I accidentally found a Nepo baby, if that makes sense. So, okay, a Nepo baby, I think Wikipedia has a definition. Yes, it does. A Nepo baby, short for a nepotism baby, is a term referring to celebrities whose parents have succeeded in the same careers. Now, I think this can apply to even more than celebrities. The truth is, the people you know determine what you get to do, right? Who you know, who you were sort of like acquainted with when you were younger changes everything, right? It opens up a lot of opportunities. And this entire time at work, I was like, okay, why does the building manager want me to be nice to the owner of the store beside us, right? Beside the store that I'm helping to set up? I didn't really understand. Every time I would call him on the phone, he would be like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you should have a good relation with her. And I'm like, I don't want a good relation with her. I have a wife, right? But I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, like, it's really important to have a good relation with her. You should go over and talk to her and have a good relation. And I was like, okay, yeah, but like, I'm like doing that. But there's things that you can't talk about, right? Like, imagine something as simple as like, okay, like, do you share internet between 2 units or like not? That's already kind of weird. Because your IT guy is gonna be like, okay, well, no, this is like a huge liability. Most industries can't even, right? So it's like, it's weird that this person is telling me to go over and like ask this person so many different things, right? I don't know why. I didn't know why the building manager was trying to get me to like be on good terms with this other business owner. Like, obviously, you want to be on good terms with people, but it's not important, right? And so he just kept on going on about it, and I was like, okay, look. You want me to talk to her? She has to come over and talk to us too, all right? So get her over here. I was genuinely annoyed. I was like, I can't be the one running over every single time. So I told him, I was like, either make her do the legwork or she doesn't get shit. And then he finally did. After he kept on saying, no, like, you should be the one to do it, right? You should be the one to show that you mean well. And I'm like, shut the fuck up and bring her over here. She finally comes over, and she's like, there's like a dispute with like a storage room because we don't know who really owns the storage room. It's in the middle of 2 units, and both units have like a door into it because both units used to be like a shared unit for like 2 separate businesses owned by the same person. It was a weird setup before. I don't know why they laid out the building like this, but basically it used to be the same place, and like one side was like the protection side, the other side was like the output side. Say like, I don't know, for like anything really. The problem is that because that shared room was like there, we didn't know who owned it, and so who could use it. So they came over finally after days of me being told to like go over, and like me having to go over constantly. I was like, why don't they just come over here, speak to the owners directly, and they can deal with it themselves. So she comes over, she starts talking to them. Then they go all the way upstairs to like, you know, to the 5th, whatever, the 8th floor or something. I can't remember how many floors. I just know that it's a very long way up. To go meet with the owner of the building who happened to be in on that day. So there's like a management of the building and the owner of the building. No joke, the moment that she saw the owner went like, "Hey niece, how are you?" I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. I was like, that's why he's telling me to have a good relation with her. He's terrified of her. That's his boss's niece. It's like, oh, it all makes sense now. So I shot him a look. I looked at him and I just nodded my head. I was like, and he was like, yeah, now you know, huh? I'm like, well, you could have just told me that, right? Just let me know if I'm in the presence of like royalty. It's not really royalty. She is, I mean, if you own real estate in a major metropolitan city, that's like a building that's like 8 floors, and then your uncle gives you a space to like lease for like dirt cheap. I'm not even kidding you, like dirt cheap. She got it like so good to make like her own like shop, because she's also very, very young. I didn't expect someone to be at the age of like 20, 21 to like open up their own store. But hearing all that and connecting all the dots, I was like, it makes sense now. Obviously, I'm not necessarily faulting him or her for it, right? They do actually do hard work, and who am I to judge the value of one's work? I just find it funny that the entire time the subtext wasn't, I should go over and like actually like be nice to my neighbors, which is like a very normal thing to say, but to do it to like almost harangue me about it constantly is like annoying, right? The subtext was, hey, this is the boss's niece, don't piss her off. The problem is that my clients, the people that I'm working for, have known the boss longer than she's been born. Like, they've known him for 40 years, so it's like, it doesn't matter what she says. They're cool, they're chill. We don't give a fuck. So anyways, yeah, we took the storage room. Yeah, she got nothing. That's +1 for the peasants. Let's go. +1 for the peasantry. Down with nobility. +1 for the peasantry. But yeah, it's surprisingly interesting to see that happen. I've met nepo babies before. I've dated one actually, way back in high school. I dated someone who was like a millionaire. I had no clue nobody knew that she was a millionaire. And then she dated me, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, let's just go over to my brother's place and we'll hang out there." We go over. It's like the largest apartment. I'm like, okay, this is large, very large. And I'm like, wait, so because like, you know, she's like from overseas and stuff, right? And she lived there with him, because like it was only both of them and the parents, right? But their like parents were like all the way back home overseas, right? And she was here for like education. And she was, and I asked her, I was like, wait, so you just live alone? And she was like, yeah, my parents are busy running their company. And I was like, oh, what company? The largest construction company back in her country. I was like, oh, oops, okay, well, I didn't know that's how it was gonna go. So I've been acquainted with nepo babies. Nepo babies are everywhere. I just didn't expect it to happen again in my life. It's weird. I see so many nepo babies. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe, okay, you know what it is? Survivor bias. Survivorship bias or something? What is it? Survivor bias. The idea that what you see are the people who survive, right? So obviously, if I work with clients who build up businesses and I help them do initial integration stuff, as well as like find technological solutions for them, it makes sense that the people who I find building businesses are those with the means and the opportunity to do so. But to accidentally date one in high school, that's kind of funny to me. I was in high school too. Just want to make it clear. This is a very old story from a long time ago. Just want to make it clear. I'm not a weirdo. Not a weirdo. But yeah, it was fascinating. Damn, you thought I was stranded somewhere, and judging from the other chat message, you're exactly 9 minutes late. No, you're just on time. I'm so sorry. I just saw that message. The chat window is buggy today. Very, very buggy. Can you imagine if I was stranded somewhere? I don't think my first reaction chat would be to stream on like Twitch, right? I don't know if the first thing I would do is go on Twitch live and then be like, "Hey, chat, I'm stranded." Like, imagine I'm on was it? I don't know. Is it Gilligan's Island? Gilligan's Island. What's the island? What's like the island that the guy was on? Castaway. Imagine I'm in like a castaway situation, right? I have one shot to make a single call, right? It's like Jeopardy, right? And the first thing I do is I go live on Twitch and I say, "I'm stranded." Hey, high school was a long time for you too, but you are a weirdo. See, we're all weirdos here. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with being weird. It's just I don't understand. I always thought rich people would go to private schools. Okay, this was a very public school. It was a very public school. I mean, to them, if you're overseas, there is no public school. You have to pay for all of them. So I guess every school is technically a private school. But I was very surprised to see that there. Again, he was like balling out of control. I mean, like $100 million net worth of like her alone. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. And she's like, yeah, like no, dude, okay, there was. She randomly one day she was just like, I'm thinking of buying a building. And I was like, what do you mean you're thinking of buying a building? No one just thinks that. No one wakes up in high school and says, I'm gonna buy a building. So I was like, but I was like, okay, fine, I'll like entertain you. What does that mean? And she was like, yeah, her and her family were thinking of buying a building somewhere, and she was gonna be the one to like own it and like run it and like, you know, do the whole thing. And I was like, that's a crazy statement, but sure, okay, where you want to open it? And then she pointed this and she showed me this like giant building, and I'm like, how the hell is this? How does this doesn't make any sense? I feel like my high school experience was like very strange. From that to dropping out to just doing my own thing, it's odd. Yeah, welcome. There's no more crazy nepotism stories, although that those last two, which is funny. Again, nepo babies are everywhere, and it's survivorship bias of like, if I'm in this industry doing this particular kind of work, like contracting for people, then it makes sense, right? That I would happen to see that the most. But other than that, the work stuff has been very chill. We did find actually a bunch of baseball or sports memorabilia that was signed, so we brought it home because it was all the old owners. The owners don't really care about it, so me and my brother get everything because my brother is also helping out. We get everything. So again, $7,000 sound system, which sounds worse than Reaper and like some VSTs. So it's like I don't really know why I want it. And then a bunch of sports memorabilia that people throw. I don't know why people throw out so many valuable things. I don't get it. If I was running a business and my business closed doors, right? I would close my doors long before bankruptcy, and I would keep everything that I buy. But for some reason, the old owner said, hey, I don't want these 8 tablets and this like 1 computer and this 1 laptop. It's like, okay, thanks, I'll use it all. Thanks, buddy. Oh, it's mine now. But there's no more workspace. Instead, today we're going to go into a weird segment. All right? A very strange segment. This segment is ads. So I'll explain in just a moment. Let me get things set up here. Let me make sure it runs fine. But I think you'll enjoy this segment. Also, let me get all my gas out. I'm very, very, very gassy. I think Red Solo Cup really embodies that like strange sense of like, okay, like what does it mean to be like a rural, just kind of having fun kind of like style thing. When you meet somebody from like a rural area, that's basically how they are. And it's weird, right? Usually those songs would be very cringy, but that song just feels fun to listen to. It just feels like a fun time to listen to. I'm so sorry that you had to see the Red Solo Cup vomiting thing too. But I couldn't help myself, and I was like, this is too good not to use. Listen, if I bring it down, right, it looks like she's eating noodles. But if you bring it up, you realize the horror of like what she's actually doing. Anyways, I wanted to show you all a game ad as well. So you may remember a game that I played, well, at least the demo of it, called Until Then. It was that game that was based in a setting that was in the Philippines and where some event happens and some earthquake happens. You know, it's a weird time travel angle. There's a new release date trailer, so we actually get to see when the game is going to come out. I would say it released I think 2 weeks ago during the week that I was gone or busy. Someone on YouTube in the comments mentioned it. Thank you. So we'll be watching it together because I didn't want to watch it without you all. Do you know why? I like to subject you all to terrible, awful things like the vomit. I love vomiting all over your face. By the way, if you haven't played the demo for this game, or you haven't played the game, you're missing out. I think this game is gonna be like a 10 out of 10 banger. Okay, it's gonna be a 10 out of 10 banger. And I know it looks boring because it's like it's like a visual novel thing. But the way that they do the writing and the weird things that they make you do and the fact that they allow you to like your own Facebook post is so good. See, and there's something weird about it. They're dealing with some angle of like people not existing or something. Or something not actually being like real. It's so strange, but I can't wait till I play it. May 23rd. That's a lot sooner than I expected. Wait, when is May? I don't actually know my order of the months. That's next month. Chat. Okay, we have a major problem. The problem, scheduling. All right. Let's think about this. Let's have a little chat. Okay. Let's have a little chat and think about how we're gonna do this scheduling chat. All right. There's a problem. Right now, Dragon's Dogma 2 is my new addiction. Right? Tales and Tactics just released their PvP update. In alpha, it's really fun. I've been playing a lot of it. I got a new game called Cyrilium Ultimate, where it's like Final Fantasy XII's Gambit system, but on crack. It is insane. Elden Ring DLC in July or June. Until then, May 23rd. Divine Frequency sometime this year. So to Speak sometime this year. Shishingo is already out. That's 8 games all already. There's so many games. Chat, there's so many games. We don't have the Stardew Valley 1.6 update, which I wanted to play. What games? We still haven't finished Road Warden. We haven't finished Crosscode. We haven't finished Darkwood. We haven't finished. There's so many games we haven't finished. We haven't finished Wildermyth. Chat, I haven't even gotten time to work on the Wildermyth thing that I wanted to do with you all. Like the whole event for it. I haven't even had time to build it. I need to finish my website, the spot where we see the mind map of like everyone's interests, the spot where you see all of you in like stick thing like space for the exclamation mark register thing. There's so many things. There's a VI chat reading thing. There's the VI chat event that I want to do. Oh god. There's the videos on the main channel. There's not enough time. It's 18 things. I'm gonna go crazy. See, chat. Never say that I don't do anything for you, chat. Sometimes, I do a little too much. Anyways, let's go right into Dragon's Dogma. I need to use the washroom. Bad timing, I know. My bladder just got full. I tried to go during the Toby Keith song, but it didn't work. And I figured, okay, let me make the vomit cup. So now, you gotta wait and listen to like jazz. Sorry. BRB, as soon as I'm back, we're playing Dragon's Dogma 2.